started. I have all of my ingredients here. So the first thing we want to do is get our measuring cups, our measuring spoons, get your bath bomb mold. The ones that I'm providing all are different sizes. Some are bigger than this and some are smaller than this. So depending on your bath bomb size, you might end up, if this was here, I might have two. If it was littler, I might have a bunch of little ones. So it just depends, and I'm just gonna ask that you put it in the bag that you got it and return it, or in another bag, maybe like a plastic Ziploc bag, and just bring it in during our open hours to the library to return it. That would be great. That way we can continue to do these programs. So I'll say the first thing we want to do is we want to mix all of our dry ingredients except the citric acid. I have these in packages. You're going to have them labeled, and I'll explain what each label is in the notes to the video. So we want to use 1 cup of baking soda. Unfortunately, I only have my 1/4 cup, so I'm going to do 1/4, 1/4, half, 3/4, 1. The next thing I want to do is add my Epsom salts. And you won't need to measure because I'll have measured it all out for you. So we need 1/2 cup of Epsom salts. So I'm going to use my 1/4 cup measure, half, 1/4 to half. So that's 1/2 cup of Epsom salts. Cornstarch. I need 3/4. Half, and then 3/4. You can see I put down some newspaper. You can put down newspaper, paper towels, just do it in your kitchen and then wipe everything up afterwards. The next thing we're going to do is use some mica. So I have some mica, just kind of like a natural coloring. Now I am including this instruction. This is from a website I found from Pinterest, fitasmamabear.com. And I included the link below. She recommended this. She also said it's going to make your tub very shiny, and also you might have to scrub afterwards, so it might leave like a ring or a stain. So I want to do 1 teaspoon, although I think what's in here is just enough. This one was pre-portioned, I believe, for me. And this will color it, give it some shimmer, and just make it that much more indulgent. You can already see it's like making me all shimmery, which is very pretty. So I've included lavender oil for everyone, so everyone's is going to be lavender, although the colors will vary. I have different colors for mica, but regardless of the color, they'll all be the same fragrance. So the one thing that we don't want to add yet is the citric acid, which if you read this, it will explain, because the citric acid is what makes it bubble, so you're better off adding it as the last step. So now I'm going to add the essential oil. So I'm doing it with sample materials that I have here. So I'm going to use lemongrass. Like I said, you'll all be getting your lavender oil. So I'm going to count. Okay, so that's 20 drops. And this person recommended 20 drops for adults. If you're looking to use this with children, you'd want to use a lot less. Look in the notes, and also Google it if you're thinking about that. we want to use 3 teaspoons of witch hazel. And 1 tablespoon is the same as 3 teaspoons. So I'm going to add that in here. And 2 tablespoons of almond oil. So I figured I would give you guys these instructions because this would be very helpful if you ever wanted to make it again. You don't need to have the mold. She mentions you can use muffin tin molds or any other silicone molds that you have. And it also explains a little bit about the ingredients. Okay. So now I'm going to stir, and she recommends that you stir it kind of for a long time. She says you want to stir it for 2 minutes. Just be careful. That powder, you don't want to breathe that in. Just trying to make sure I get all the way to the bottom. So you can see this will make us quite a lot. Okay, now I'm going to add the citric acid, which is ½ cup. All clumped together. This is what gives it its fizz. Stirring. And I can smell the oil. It smells very nice. And you know, some people don't like to use bath bombs. They don't like to sit in it. If you're worried about that, especially for children, you know, one thing you could always do is use this for a foot bath. You can use that. You know, just make a nice foot bath and soak your feet if you don't want to soak maybe your whole body in it. Now we added some nice almond oil, which is very moisturizing for your skin, but also could leave things a little bit slippery in the tub, so do be careful. And like I said, just, you know, if you're going to make this for children, use less oil, essential oil, and you know, maybe do a little Google search on how much you want to add. Okay, so now what this author recommends is that you only fill this halfway. So maybe like this. And I'm going to use this. She recommends you use your spatula, but this is like, I feel like a lot harder and a lot better to press. And then she said spray it. So we have our little spray bottle. You guys will have a little one. Okay, yeah, you don't want to do too much because you don't want to activate that too much. And then we're going to fill that in. And you want to press. And that way the whole thing will stick together. because a lot of times, I've tried this in the past with, you know, a kit that I bought, and it was, you know, the whole thing was crumbly, it didn't hold together, you know, maybe you take the balm out of the mold and then the whole thing just falls apart. So this is a really good technique. And again, if you just do it from far away and just a little, it won't spritz up too much. Kind of keep doing that, you know, you press, and that way you're getting a lot of layers and it's all really holding together. So there. And now I'm going to do it with my other half. So again, only about halfway. Press it down firmly. And wetting it really helps it stick together. Just going to pack it a little bit more. Now, she recommends don't just take one and flip it on top of the other, kind of go them sideways. So I'm going to do that, but first I'm going to spray each one. And again, you want to press really hard. Nice. I'm going to just kind of press it into this mold. Awesome. And I'm just going to kind of press it again in my hands a little. It feels a little delicate still. Oh, and this is awesome. I'm just gonna kind of pop it in here and squeeze it in here again. Excellent. So it's like, you know, a very slow and patient technique, but you come out with a really great result. Doesn't that look like a cute little macaroon? So I'm going to continue to make some more. where you can't get it out, like this. So what I did, it's like kind of cheating a little, but whatever, who cares? So kind of like push on one edge and it should pop it out, okay? And then I'll do it on this side too. Just wanna make sure it's really compact in here. Otherwise it'll just make a big crumble. Push a little, okay, so you can see it kind of sliding out of the mold. So, do that. You can either slide this out and place it on here. It's a little frustrating. You wouldn't think it would be because it seems like a simple thing, but it is. And then same thing with this guy. At least this way, you kind of put them together. And then kind of mold it together in your hand, press it down a little. You can use a little water, but you'll wanna, not too much, because you still want it to fizz when you put it in the bath. And if you activate all the citric acid and it fizzes now, then you won't get a fizz later in the bath. So I have that here. I have some here cracking, but just kind of keep, pushing on it, let it dry. If you find that your material has gotten too wet, let it dry out a little. Another thing, I ended up switching other molds that I had. Maybe wash this and dry it really well, because if it's too wet inside, it might be sticking. So just, it's not a complicated thing to do, but it can be annoying. So just take your time with it, try to figure out what the best way is. And even in this woman's blog, she mentioned that times that she's had a hard time with it, she ended up just putting just the dry mixture in a jar and then using scoops of that into the bath too. That'll work too. So no matter what, you can still use this product. But yeah, just give it a try, see what you think. If you have any tips for me, that'd be awesome, because we have these molds and I'm sure we'll be doing it again. So I hope you enjoyed this. Share your videos or photos or whatever you have to us if you would like to, and we can learn from you and share it with others. Thanks, have a great day.